Hey there YouTubers, Tom here from Tom's Test Kitchen, and I want to try something today. I saw on a recent episode of one of my favorite shows, America's Test Kitchen, and they did a kind of a non-scientific study, survey of using store ground beef for a hamburger versus like making, grinding your own at home. And they surveyed probably like 10 people or so, and every one of them said that the home ground, the fresh ground that they actually ground in their kitchen was a better tasting hamburger. They said it was juicier, had more flavor, and I wanted to try that. So I got some water boiling over here. I wanted to try this out myself, and the cut of meat that they suggested, I've never heard of. It was called something. It was called like a flat steak or something. I don't know what it was. But I had talked to my butcher, and he was telling me one of the best cuts that he likes to make ground beef for hamburgers is brisket. I'm like, well, why not? It sounds perfect. So here I've got 1.67, so it's a little over 1.5 pounds of brisket, and my grocery store will actually sell. You can buy, the whole packer style. You can buy a smaller brisket that's been trimmed of all the excess fat. You can actually just buy the point if you want. You can buy the flat if you want, and they actually will sell. They cut like it's a split brisket, so it's got a little bit of the point, a little bit of the flat, and so you can use this for whatever you want. So I know a lot of grocery stores don't have that available for you, but mine definitely does. So this looks like it's got a good ratio of fat to meat. So what I'm going to do is just cut this, because this is one of the things that America's Test Kitchen suggested when you're doing this, is to cut the beef into cubes and then freeze them. So I've got this, there's a little bit of fat and all. This is all going to be processed. So I'm going to cut this in about 1-inch cubes, and then I'm going to put this on a sheet and freeze it for, they suggest freeze it about 30 minutes, because you don't want it to be completely frozen, but you need it to be a little bit solid. Because what I'm going to do is, I do have a really nice meat grinder. It's a big electric meat grinder, but for something this small, it's just not worth it for me, because it's a pain in the butt to clean. You got to clean it before you use it. You got to clean it after you use it, and it's fine if you're going to make like 10 pounds of sausage or something like that. But less than 2 pounds of ground beef, I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to do this in the food processor. And I've seen many times people, they suggest using a food processor for, grinding your meat. You just have to be careful and not go too far, or else you'll end up with a meat paste. So they showed on the show on America's Test Kitchen, processing it in a food processor, and it seemed like one of the key things was to partially freeze the meat. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cubing this up, and then place it in the freezer, and then get on to grinding it up in a food processor. And pretty much everybody has a food processor, right? If you don't have one, go get one. They're very useful. Okay, I'll be back once I have this after the freezer, and then we're going to start the grinding. Okay, we're back after 30 minutes. And that meat is firmed up pretty well, as you can see, up in the freezer. Can't seem to quit dropping this stuff. I don't go by the 5-second rule. If it hits the floor, it's gone in the trash. Okay, so I'm just going to move this further from the edge so I don't drop anymore. And then just add this to the food processor. Slippery little buggers. break apart any of those that might be stuck together. So I'm going to have to do this in batches. So there's quite a bit of meat here. So I'm going to do about half this tray. And then, boy, some of that's more frozen than the others. But you want it to be in the smaller chunks like that. So break apart any that seem to be stuck together. Okay, that's about half. And I want to make sure I get a good mixture of lean to fat in there. Okay, this is going to go back in the freezer. So I'm ready for it. Okay, let's get a bird's eye view of this. So we got the meat in the food processor. I'm just going to process very briefly. So we do, like I said, you don't want to make a paste out of this. That looks pretty good. Just going to transfer this to a plate. And then I'm going to remove any major chunks that might be in there. Any of these large chunks, yeah. See, that's not going to make for a good hamburger. Just looking through there for any. I might have put too much in this first batch of processing. Looks pretty good. And I'll just process those few chunks with the rest of it. Okay, this is just going to go in the refrigerator until I'm ready to make up some patties. It's time to make the burgers into patties. So make sure your hands are nice and clean. Just gonna patty up some burgers like you would normally, patty up some burgers. And the nice thing about grinding your own meat for burgers, you can cook them however you like them. I really like medium rare hamburgers. You do not want to have a medium rare hamburger from the grocery store, because they mix the meat with several different carcasses, and you run a risk of salmonella. Not salmonella, but E. coli. It's just not worth it. So I'm just going to go ahead and pat these out into about, I don't know, maybe that might be a little over a quarter pound, close to a half pound. I'll say a third of a pound. I might weigh one later. We'll see. So you get the idea. So just scoop up a big bag, a big ball. I got a feeling this would be great for what Greg did over at Ballistic Barbecue for the smash burgers. Definitely, Greg, smash burgers. If I had a smasher and a way to do smash burgers, I'd definitely do these as smash burgers. Look at that. It's got. I really like this ratio of meat to fat. I think it looks good. I'm guessing maybe 80-20, maybe even like yeah, maybe a little bit less. I'm not exactly sure, but it really doesn't matter because I ground this meat myself. And I'm going to season this very simply with just salt and pepper. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish these up. And then next time you see these, they'll be on the grill. Okay, I'm ready to start grilling these brisket burgers. Got some potatoes that I've been cooking in the foil pouch with some bacon. And I tried this earlier and I kind of had a problem with the meat is not, I guess I should have froze it because it wasn't adhering as well, and I was just didn't want to take a chance on it falling through the grates. So I put a griddle on, got it nice and hot. Nothing wrong with that. Like I said earlier, I think this would be perfect for Greg's. Smash burger. This is going to be my own smash burger. We'll see how that does. Okay, let's flip these bad boys. They're definitely loose. I got a feeling they're going to be really good. Oh, I guess there wasn't enough fat in these burgers to hold them together. Or maybe I made them too big because that little guy there seems to come together well. Yeah, a lot of liquid. I don't know. We'll see. Like I always say, you never know until you try something. Tastes good. I'm gonna leave that open because let some of this excess moisture evaporate. Okay, time to dress up these burgers. It's gonna do 2 of them right now because my son's not home, so me and my wife are gonna have these. Just add some American cheese. I gotta say, I'm not really happy with using the food processor with this. I think that if I used the grinder and ground it twice, the results would have been a lot better. But I mean, it tastes good. I'm gonna give this a shot. I'll see you back inside when I dress these up. Well, here's the finished product. Let's give it a taste. Gotta admit, they look good. Got some sauce that I mixed up. It was kind of inspired by Greg's smash burger again. It's basically just mayo and yellow mustard. And add some tomato and some shredded lettuce. Oh, gotta add some pickles first. Love pickles on my burgers. Then we'll add some lettuce. Oh no, I think this turned out really good, but like I'd mentioned earlier, I think the food processor did a pretty good job. If you don't have a food processor, that would work well. But I'm going to use my meat grinder from now on. So let's give it a taste. I got to admit, it tastes really good. Very juicy. Has a really great beefy flavor. I'm definitely going to experiment some more. Definitely a thumbs up. I'm going to try it. Yeah, I'll give it 2 thumbs up. But, if you don't have a meat grinder, use the food processor. There you go. Ground brisket burgers.